Hello everyone, this is your sergeant speaking. Hopped into a start of Dragor and I thought I'd do a dwarf tutorial today. So this is the spawn, and I'm just going to go get some tools. Where I start. So this is the final shrine of Dragor, and up here you've got your bow, your pot, and your sword and shield. Someone stole my pot. So what you want to do is you just want to right click on these things. You can do it open hand or with the closed. Come on. And then you'll get these 4 items. I really don't want to steal someone else's stuff. So yeah, I'll just prove that you can do it with a shield. Now I'll go off and explain these items later. But what you really want to have is just these 4. Don't worry about the second juice. That doesn't make too much of a difference. It's just personal choice for me. Now, when you fall, you can actually jump down here, and you can take a little bit of damage and survive. Now at the front, this is the next shrine. That's the gate entrance shrine. Over here, you'll see these little tables. We have an axe. Let's chuck these off. We have a pick. And we have a shovel. All of these are just right-clicking on it to get it. Now I'll head over to the quarry first. I'll get rid of some of this stuff. Now what you want to do, here's the quarry, and you can see it's just full of gravel. You want to use your shovel just to break this gravel. You can use any tools you like, and it'll still work, and your bare fist, still work. Now every piece of gravel you break, you will get 4 pieces of cobblestone. So really just by doing this you can get quite a lot of cobblestone quickly. Now, you might see around in the quarry is these little gold blocks. What you're going to do is you get your pick and just mine them with left click. And as you see, when you mine them you potentially get the chance to get this chunk of ore. And that's what you use to make armor. Now it's not 100% of time, I've just gotten lucky there. So I've gotten 5. I'm going to get a few more. Bit of cobbles. I'm going to go show you how to make armor. If you're newer, you really shouldn't have to worry about armor. But if you're... what am I saying? If you're new, someone else will armor you. Don't worry about making armor. Not everyone has to work on armor. So to make armor, you need at least one of these chunk of ores and a pickaxe. So what you do someone's invisible. Okay. You get this chunk of ore and you right click on the piston. Now what you can do is if you try to left click on it and hold it down and try to mine this, you right click your pickaxe to refine the gold. So you right click and you see these little hooks coming off it. And what's that doing is that's doing a command. Now you'll notice that the gold changes looks different as you refine it. And that's because when you right click on it, you're actually doing a command and it's changing it from one color wall to a different color. Until eventually you get to a solid gold block. So there we go, that's a solid gold block. And you can also put your gold on the side. And when you hold right click, it'll actually refine both of them. As you can see, I got all 5 of mine back. Now what you want to do to armor someone, is just have your armor out and just left click. Now armor someone. Now everyone can only be armored once, and see if you clicking it says no target found. Let's just armor this guy. Now, when you have an axe, from where I showed you to get it, you go up to any tree you like. You're actually just looking for a wood source. It'll work from here. It'll work from the trees, and it'll work from piles of wood. Now I'm pretty sure I need 7? I might get a few more just in case. Bear with me here while I set this up. Oh, I've done one more, I need 6. Now, so that is the saw over there. As you can see, it's a little saw. When you take your logs in there, when you cut it, just holding right click or left, just touching right click, holding or pressing, you'll cut all of your logs into planks. Now it's a 1-to-1 ratio. When you cut all your planks, you can cut them into sticks. Again, a 1-to-1 ratio. When you cut your sticks, you get bowls, and that's a 1-to-4 ratio. Now, I'm going to do something a little sneaky. And just go over here for a second. And just drop all my torches and mortar in. Just because I want you to see how many you get from each. So you see, 1 in 16. See, I knew that was going to happen. So. Sorry about this. 1 in 16, so I need 4. There we go. So I'm going to come over here, all the way out here, and I'm going to show you some other things about dwarves. I really want to come over here, because that way I'm far away from anyone, so I shouldn't get disturbed. So as you saw that purple stuff, that's oil. Now, here seems good enough. When you dip a torch in, or stick in, you get 1 torch. When you dip 4 bowls in, you get 16 mortar. So really, if you want to be picky, why is it not working? So here's the way it eventually rolls out to be. For every 1 plug you get 16 mortar. For every 1 log you get 1 torch. So that means if you want a stack of mortar and a stack of torches, you're going to need 64 of these logs just for the torches and 4 just for mortar. So 68 logs altogether. The sad part is most of that's just for torches, 64. Now, something else I want to show you. I'm going to place a torch down here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if I've done this properly, it should line up. Yes, it does. Beautiful. Okay. So if it's nighttime, and I'll explain this when it gets nighttime, you get darkness. Now, see this single torch here? If I'm anywhere, either inside this cobble area, I'm going to get see in the dark. The way I worked it out is on flat ground, a torch has 9 areas of light. So this is where you're in the light, and outside here you'll get blindness and mobs will get strength, that I've talked about in my mobs video. This changes though if it's like a hill or if it's a valley I'm not particularly sure. I haven't really worked it out yet because there's a lot of testing, but just on flat ground you have 9 blocks. Now I'm going to make this a reference. I'm going to talk about glue and the efficient way to use glue. 2, 3, 2, 2. And 1, 2, 1, 2. If you stick with me for just a second, I'll show you the purpose of this little building. Okay, I should be safe from death. Now, what if I told you that just using one piece of glue, I could glue all this? Ba-bam. Now, any block I place anywhere inside this block is actually going to get glued when I use my glue. And that's because glue, if this is your reference block, oh, whoops, has a 2 by 5 by 3 block range. Now you can, with this, get rid of these blocks. So as you can see, it goes out 2, it goes along 5, and it goes up 3. Now this can also be flipped over to the other side. 2 by 5 by 3. But what's also funny is I could build this down and it would go down another 3. So when you're running along a proc tunnel trying to glue stuff or gluing the wall, you could glue a nice area. You could basically glue a wall just like that with one glue, 5 wide. Okay, now that it's nighttime, I can actually explain the torches. So as you can see, when I'm in the dark, I get blindness. I should get blindness. Oh wait, I'm holding a torch. I get blindness. Blindness for 50 seconds, and that will repeat. When I hold a torch though, I don't get blindness. Problem is, you can't hold a torch while going into battle. So you can place a torch on the ground and you won't get blindness. Like I said, I can go all the way up to here without getting blindness. I step over this mark though, and I get blindness. This will work for anywhere along here. I'm here, I'm safe. I'm out here, and I will get blindness. So that's one thing you want to consider about torches, is the area of influence. Now I could make a massive spear out of cobble, a massive circle for you guys. Actually, let's make a half circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just so you can comprehend how big the circle is. So as you see, I'm outside of it, I'm getting blindness. I step inside and I get the light. There we go. This one torch is lighting up this whole area, and that would work the same for the other side. Okay, so that's about lighting. Now, I'm going to talk about how to defend yourself against the monsters. So all these are used for fighting monsters. You get your sword, your juice, your shield, and your bow. The sword is a general sword. It does 10 damage. General left click for the 10 damage. Right click doesn't do anything. You have your juice. Now if you take any damage whatsoever, I hope this is enough for full damage. Yep, you can left click it to get a full heal. It will heal you for all of your hearts. So all of them. So that means if you take half-hearted damage, you can left click and fully heal. The juice heal costs, I'm pretty sure it's 150 mana. We'll just double check that. Yep, 150 mana. So you could use it 6 times, and then you have to wait for your mana to regen. Now, the right click, by holding right click, it's just drinking your juice. You get a cool little sound effect, as you can hear, does nothing. All you want to do is left click. Okay, now we're up to the shield. Now the shield, as you read the tooltip, does +5 damage and 100% knockback resistance. So this shield does half the damage of the sword. But the half the damage that it loses, it makes up for no knockback resistance. So right now, skeletons cause knockback. Because that's what their bow is, a punch bow. When you have this shield out though, even if you get hit, you can't get knocked back. So if there's a skeleton out here, say this is a skeleton. I'll put a torch for a face, because I need the dark. That's our skeleton. If I run at him with a sword and he hits me, I'm going to go flying back. But if I run at him with a shield and he hits me, I'm just going to take the damage, but I can still keep moving forward and kill him and proc him. So that's the left click of the shield. That does the 5 damage and the no knockback resistance. The right click, however, it makes you slower. As you can see, you can't really sprint, but it also halves the damage you take. So if you're really low on mana, you can right click and try to save up health, so you don't have to heal as much. Also makes you slow and you can't really attack. You can do the right and left click, but that's not worth it. Now we go to the bow. Now for the bow, just see the little tooltip, doesn't really tell you. Now the left click of your bow, you'll see a little blue bar. That's a cast time. Now if you move around, it cancels the cast time. If you get hit, it cancels the cast time. So you got to really just left click and stand still. And you see that blue bar goes up, and when it goes up, you craft arrows. Generally you make between 3 and 8. I normally get about 5. Like that time I got 10. What did I get this time? That time I got 47, 7. So yeah, you make a few arrows. We'll see how much mana it costs.